Now this is something that I didn't even realize at first, but I think it warrants a conversation here on the YouTube channel. So in the last video, we spoke about the Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings and how well they have been performing in the NHL standings. It's been looking pretty good for these Atlantic Division teams, and I think for fans of the Habs and the Wings, nobody really expected them to be top of the division to start out the season, but we'll take it, right? I'm a guy who cheers for both teams, so I'm obviously feeling pretty good about that. But this conversation deserves its own video. Because yesterday, we had ourselves a whole bunch of really interesting comments made by Montreal Canadiens players. We had Suzuki speaking out about Team Canada. We had Martin St. Louis going out there and talking about Demidov. But we also had a really interesting conversation about Lane Hutson, and we're going to get into that. I guess we can dive into some of the other extra stuff first. You didn't click on the video for this, but it's going to be included here anyway because I think it's pretty cool. Nick Suzuki went out there and spoke out about getting on to Team Canada for the Olympics. He says he wants to be on that team. It was a great experience in Calgary, just getting to meet everybody. I just want to have the best start I could, try to put my name in the hat for that team. I just try to do my best out there. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. We see it. We feel it. We are able to acknowledge you. The tribal chief that Nick Suzuki is for the Montreal Canadiens, he is not going to be denied. And his overall level of play, I think at least, is worth paying attention to for Team Canada scouts. Furthermore, we also had some commentary from Jakub Dobes after the Canadiens won 2 nights ago. We're a good team. I feel like we're going to win a lot of games. Just a normal day for us. We win. And that's what we do here. Man, does this guy ever bleed swagger. Who knows who's going to get the start later today against the Calgary Flames, especially with the Canadiens on a back-to-back situation. They'll be playing off against the Edmonton Oilers later tomorrow. But, hey, Jakub Dobes, he can be relied upon. He's 5-0-0 to start out the year. Ever since that mattress picture was posted, he's gone out there in the preseason and regular season and strung together some wins. Here's another quote from the Canadian subreddit. Martin St. Louis spoke out about Oliver Kapanen and Ivan Demidov, 2 guys that we made a video about yesterday. If you didn't check out the video on this page, you could go out there and look at that. You can see Cappy's potential. I'm not surprised with both players. Demidov has a little bit more flashiness to his game. Cappy plays a very mature game and finds himself in really good spots. I think they balance each other out very well on the ice. Now, say what you want about whether or not Oliver Kapanen really is a mature hockey player who makes those kinds of mature decisions, but hey, Martin St. Louis, the head coach of the team, he's going out there and saying it, so I think there's some stock to put into that. Right? Right? And as we had spoken about yesterday, Ivan Demidov has been doing a pretty good job in feeding Oliver Kapanen. Kapanen's one of the top scoring rookies this year, and he's top of the class in goals, which is kind of ridiculous. Nobody thought Kapanen was going to win the Calder this year at all, right? Everybody's focus was on Demidov. But, keeping with the same vein on Ivan Demidov and his performance so far, I wanted to go over to another quote that was posted onto the Habs sub that I thought was really, really interesting. It's a comment from Lane Hutson, who speaks out about Ivan Demidov, saying that the guy's work ethic towards his craft is really special. But in the post, posted by Go Habs Go 31, there is a very interesting paragraph that I think we need to acknowledge here. Noah Dobson's arrival affords Martin St. Louis a luxury. The coach can use Hutson with Demidov with increasing regularity because the offensive support Dobson and Matheson provide to Suzuki is more than sufficient, and the Hutson-Demidov combination will only grow as the season progresses. I can't even imagine just because he's so eager to learn about what he's doing wrong or just how to generate more, Hutson said. Demidov's work ethic towards his craft is really special. And as somebody that owns Demidov, Slafkovsky, Bolduc, and Hutson on one of my fantasy teams, don't worry, I'm going to drop Bolduc soon. The guy kind of doesn't really deserve to be taken anymore. He's not scoring. Okay, sorry. For somebody like me who's been watching these games, hoping for points out of those specific guys all the time, I have noticed that Lane Hutson doesn't really spend much 5v5 ice time with Nick Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky as much as he did last year. You've got Matheson and Dobson going out there and providing top-tier minutes and top-tier support. And for the most part, it's working, because not only are Matheson and Dobson getting a decent amount of points, they're not going out there and lighting the world on fire, but they are getting so many minutes, they're looking dangerous in top-tier situations, and they are finding themselves ways to get on the score sheet here and there. Dobson's got 4 points on the year, Matheson has 4 as well. Just one fewer than Lane Hutson, I guess. But Lane is more so used with that Ivan Demidov line, which was not a luxury that Martin St. Louis had last year. He wouldn't be able to put Hutson with Demidov because Hutson would be paired with Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky. That top line needed that offensive support. And Noah Dobson just happens to be a #1 defenseman from New York that can provide that. He's signed to $9.5 million a year for a reason, after all. So why not use that guy as your #1? Why not give Lane Hutson a little bit more room to breathe? He's not chalking up every minute out there. You're sending him out there in ozone moments. You're sending him out on the power play. In Montreal's win over the Buffalo Sabres the other night, Lane Hutson had 19:59 of ice time. Noah Dobson, on the other hand, was at 20:46. So obviously, there is divergence here. You have the luxury to spread it out. You don't have to just defer to one guy the entire time. It's not like Vancouver with Quinn Hughes. Man, look at me, I'm making everything about Vancouver today. It's almost like I've got some real interesting things to talk about later in today's show, but either way, this is how Noah Dobson changes the dynamic of Montreal's decor. It adds such a unique element that we didn't realize was going to be there. Only in theory, it's like, oh yeah, like he could do this, he could take up some minutes, and then Hutson can be with Demidov, or the other way around, vice versa. I mean, say what you want about Demidov last year, but if he's playing with second pair, third pair defense guys, and he's playing mostly with Caden Gooley, he's playing mostly with David Savard, he's playing with, I don't know, Jaden Struble, like, obviously these aren't bad players, but now Demidov has the luxury of skating with Lane Hutson. And we saw on some earlier shifts the other day that they look really, really good together. So, heading into today's contest, I'm probably going to keep my eye out for what the Canadiens decide to do on the back end, whom it is they play with the Kapanen and Demidov line, assuming that line even sticks around in the first place. I mean, who knows if Kirby Dach's going to be returning to the lineup. I'm recording this audio the night of October 21st, so we don't have any lineup decisions announced just yet. But with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Montreal Canadiens and what they've been doing so far with their D? And how the Noah Dobson acquisition does give this team more flexibility, a luxury that they did not have earlier last year. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you did not, then the dislike button is there for you as well. Thoughts in the comment section below about how Lane Hutson is given some new minutes because Noah Dobson is on the team now. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this British Astral 99, and bye.